Hi, here we are again. This is session number 12. I didn't think it was going to get past 3, but here we are. And I hope you're still with me. We'll just have to keep going, hopefully not too much longer before we can all meet again. Let's just get started with the posture check. Back of the head, shoulder blades, buttocks and heels up against that imaginary wall. Open the chest, like those shoulder blades down your back. Tailbone pointing down. Pressing tummy button to the backbone, pulling up into the rib cage, pelvic floor lifting. Open up the hips, buttocks engaging, knees rolling out, and the arch of the foot lifting. Spreading out the toes. And then just rock forward into the balls of the feet and rock back into the heels. You've got to switch on those core muscles to balance. Maybe exhale forward and inhale to bring it back. Just a little rock forward and back. Nice and smooth. And then bring it back to the start position. Take the right foot forward, left foot back a little bit, and then push all the way up onto the balls of the feet and balance, and then rock back and lift the right toes up. Exhale, up and balance, spreading out the toes, and inhale to rock back. Lifting the toes up, reaching up, keeping the shoulders down, warming up the hips and the knees and the ankles. Stretching the calf a little bit as you turn the toes up. And then from there, hold it at the top, keeping the shoulders down, balance. Relax and change legs. Pushing all the way up, spreading out those toes to help with the balance. Reaching up, keep the neck in line with the spine, the peach underneath the chin. Keeping the chest open, pushing back with the arms, keep those shoulder blades squeezed together a little bit. And maybe 2 more, pushing up, rock it back, turn the toes right up, and then holding it at the top. And balance, try not to let those ankles roll in or out. And just gently bring the heels back down, bring the feet back into alignment. And lifting the right arm up. Slide the left hand down, seeing the trouser leg a little bit, keeping the shoulders down. And then keeping the back of the head up against that imaginary wall, the chin down over the peach. Everything stable apart from the right hand, which you're going to rotate in a clockwise direction, circling from the wrist. And then see if you can, take all the weight on that right leg, hover the left, and then this time rotate your left foot from the ankle in an anti-clockwise direction. And balance while you do that. And then hold and change direction and make it go the other way. Circling the ankle, still reaching up, arm by the ear, ear by the arm. And then when you're ready, swap to the other side. Start off with the left arm. Then you're going in a clockwise direction to start with. When you're ready, you hover that right foot and make it go in an anti-clockwise direction. I'm really having to think about this. Circling, circling. So you're balancing and warming up the ankle and the wrist. Hold, make it go the other way. Nice and smooth and with control. I think my foot's going in the wrong direction. So gently, gently circling. And then just relax, bring the arms back down by your side. Take the legs out a little bit wider. Little lunge side to side, and then pick the heel up. Keep nice bendy knees. And then opposite hand to heel. Little bend from the waist. Reaching back. Letting your breathing flow, keeping the chest lifted and open. And then changing, bringing the foot forward And without leaning forward, see if you can tap the ankle. If that's too much, of course, you could just go with the calf or the inside of the knee. And then what about one of each? One in front, one behind. One in front, one behind. Keep that supporting knee bent slightly so it's nice and bouncy, not locked. And then change and go the other way. Other foot forward and back. Try and keep that chest up. And from here, taking the legs out nice and wide. Turn out the knees, turn out the toes. And then just take it back a little bit so that you can see my feet, hopefully. And then just do a little squat until the heels come off the floor. Put the hands down. So the heels are off the floor. What you're going to do is put the heels down, push the bottom up. You might need to come up a little bit. And squat and push up. And squat and push up. So heels up, bottom down, heels down, bottom up. Now if you find that's too much, just stand up tall again, bring the feet together and just push up onto the balls of the feet and sit back. So you could do that instead. Hopefully you're still going with the other one. Otherwise, your legs are wide, you're squatting, heels up, push up and sit. If you need to bring your hands off the floor to get your legs straight, you do that. And that should be making you puff even a little bit. Then on the next one, just hold and slowly come up. Link by link, bone by bone, up against that imaginary wall. And hold that there. And keeping the legs out nice and wide. Keeping the chest lifted. Doing a deep, deep, deep squat. Turning the knees out over the toes. Drop the head, drop the arms and push the hips up into the air. Hold that there, keep the head down. Make sure the knees aren't locking. And then slowly come up. Link by link, bone by bone. Right back up against the wall. Now if that's too much for the knees, bring the feet into alignment again. And peel yourself off the wall like a piece of wet wallpaper. Do the roll down, hold and drop. And then just slowly come up. And repeat that instead. If you can, do the wide-legged one because obviously that's a little bit more challenging. Knees going right out, slide you back down that imaginary wall to keep the chest up. Then you drop and hold. Then you push your bottom up. Remember, you can always bring your hands off the floor to get the legs straight, but keep them slightly bent so they're not locking out. And then slowly come up. All the way up, shoulders back and down. And repeat, just slide you back down that imaginary wall. Then drop and hold. Getting lots of flexibility into your spine, your hips and your knees. Hold and have a little dangle, and then slowly come up. Remember, there's also an element of balance going on there. Got to switch on those core muscles. And again, deep, deep, deep squat. Those thighs working really hard. Pushing up. Keep the head down and slowly come up. And then maybe one more time. Do a deep, 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 deep squat. Drop and hold. Push those hips up, bringing the hands off the floor if you need to get the legs straight. And then slowly coming up. Just let your breathing flow. Shoulders back and down. Then bring the feet back into alignment again. Shoulders, hips, knees and ankles aligned. Crossing your left foot behind the right foot. Hold that there, a little bit of balance. Switch on those tummy muscles. Lift that left arm up. And once you've got that going and you're balanced, do a little lean over to the side. Try not to twist that left shoulder forward. Arm by the ear, ear by the arm. Get a good stretch. And relax. And change. So put the right foot behind the left, lift that right arm up and bend to your left side. Slide the hand down, seam the trouser leg. Keep that right shoulder back. So no twist. Lift the rib cage out of the pelvis. Lengthen down the side, bringing the arm back down again and bringing the feet back into alignment. And relax the knees, drop the chin and do a lovely roll down again. Just drop, 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 drop. Hold it there. Nodding, nodding the head. Shake, 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 shake the head. Keep the knees slightly bent and slowly roll up. All the way up against that imaginary wall, shoulders back and down. Chin down over the beach. And I'm going to get a mat and use that roll down to go onto the mat. And then just standing on the back of your mat, checking the posture, back of the head, shoulder blades, buttocks and heels up against that imaginary wall, chest open. And do a lovely roll down. Drop the chin, relax the knees, keep the arms close into the legs, tummy button pulled up and in. Weight even between the balls of the feet and the heels. Hold that there. And then nodding, nodding the head. Then just shake, 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 shake the head. And keep that tummy pulled up and in. Support your back, slowly come up. Link by link, bone by bone, right back up against that wall again. And then this time using the roll down to go onto the hands and knees, or if you can, into full plank. You can decide which one you want to do. Drop the chin, peel yourself again off the wall like that piece of wet wallpaper. When you've gone maybe just that little bit further, get a bit more stretch, nodding, nodding the head. Shake, 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 shake the head. Bend the knees a little bit more if you need to, get the hands onto the mat and walk out either hands and knees or into full plank. Hold that there. Slide the shoulder blades down your back, shoulders away from the ears. Lengthening through the neck. And then we've held that for a little bit. Keep breathing full and wide into the ribs. Relax the knees. And put the knees onto the floor and walk the hands in. Tuck the toes under if you're on your hands and knees. Lift the hips up. And then slowly come up. All the way up against that imaginary wall again. Going again, drop the chin, just encouraging lots of flexibility into your spine. Hold that there, maybe a little bit further down, nodding, nodding, shaking, shaking, getting that flexibility into the neck as well as the spine. Bend the knees a little bit, walk out either hands and knees or into the full plank. Hold that there. Slide the shoulder blades down, remember you can be on hands and knees if you need to. Make sure your bottom doesn't stick up, tuck the pelvis under so those core muscles work. You can always come up onto your knuckles if you're not comfortable on the spread fingers and hands. And then walk the hands in to the knees, tuck the toes under, hover the knees, push the hips up. If you're on the plank, of course, you just walk the hands into the feet. Hold that there and then slowly come up. Keep those knees relaxed, link by link, bone by bone, back up against that imaginary wall. And then one more time, just dropping the chin, slowly, slowly down. Do that little nod again, and the shake. And then walking out, either hands and knees, or into the full plank. Make sure you don't stick your bottom up, or drop the hips down. Nice straight line from head to heels. Hold that there. And then just bring the knees down underneath the hips. Tuck the pelvis under slightly, neck in line with the spine. Slide those shoulder blades down your back. And then take a breath in, and as you breathe out, hover the right hand and the left knee off the floor. And breathe in and put them down. And then exhale the left hand and the right knee off the floor. And breathe in and put them down. Try to keep your back like a table, just hover, just a small lift. So you've really got to switch on those core muscles. Cup of tea on the back of the pelvis, cup of tea between the shoulder blades, plank of wood on the back of the head, the peach underneath the chin. Eyes focused on the floor. Try not to drop a hip or a shoulder, because remember your back is the table with the cups of tea, so you're not going to drop a shoulder or a hip, because they're the corners of your table. And if you do, the tea will come off. And then the head, of course, is the extension of the table. Maybe one more time either side. You've really got to switch on those core muscles. Make sure you don't allow a dip in your back, otherwise that tea will slide into the dip. Strengthening the wrists. Hold that there. And then pick up one hand, keep the weight forward, and then slide that hand through, literally just behind the other hand. Take the shoulder down and lift the fingers up towards the ceiling. Turn the head and look up at the ceiling. And then swap to the other side. So you turn the palm up, thread it through, literally just behind, and bring the shoulder towards the floor. Fingers towards the ceiling and push up. Try and keep the weight forward. Try to keep the hips over the knees. And twist. And then keep doing that. If you're not comfortable on the hands and knees, just come into a sitting position, either with legs straight or bent or crossed. Sit up nice and tall, and then keep the arms out in front of you, and then just turn and look along the arm. You could do a few of those, getting the flexibility into the neck and into the shoulder. And then we've done a few of those. You could bring the hands into prayer and twist your upper body, looking over the fingertips, but everything below the waist stays still. Otherwise, you're still on your hands and knees and doing the twist from there. So you decide which one you want to do. So if you're on your hands and knees, you're still going, and you can feel the backs of the arms working as you push up. It's the bingo wings. Of course, load bearing a few wrists, promoting bone growth into the wrists. And then when you have done, I think it's probably one more for me. If you've done equal numbers on both sides, you should be feeling that in the backs of the arms now if you're doing the hands and knees. Then just sit right back onto the heels. Let the forehead rest down. You might want to take the arms behind your palms up and lift up and rotate the wrists. Remember, you can open the knees to get the hips back further, or you could come into a sitting position and stretch the legs out. Put the beach ball on your lap, reach over the beach ball and rotate the wrist. Just tuck the pelvis under slightly, get a good stretch in your lower back. So we've got the peach underneath the chin, between the chin and the chest. Or of course, you can stay with sitting back onto the heels, whichever is more comfortable for you. So if you're still sitting back onto the heels, just swing round into a sitting position, making sure you've got enough mat to roll down on. So you might just want to slide down your mat a little bit. Pop the hands onto the floor and slide the hands out towards the heels, keeping the shoulders down, the peach underneath the chin. Stretch through those hamstrings. You get lower back and buttock stretch also. And maybe just turn the toes up towards the knees, push the heels away and get a good stretch through those calves as well. Remember, it doesn't matter how far forward you go, even if it's just a little way. What you want is that stretch behind the knees up into the thighs. Push the heels away, and it's the calves too. And maybe take a breath in, and as you breathe out, slide a little bit further out. Get a bit more stretch. Hold and breathe. Full and wide into the ribs. And then from there, sitting up nice and tall, reaching forward, keeping the shoulders down. Maybe point the toes to help to keep the legs anchored down. Tilt the pelvis, create your C curve, and then gently roll back down, link by link, bone by bone. Just use those tummy muscles. Remember, if you feel you're going to fall backwards quickly, you can control the speed by holding onto the thigh. You could put the hands behind you, or you could even roll over onto your side and then down onto your back. Then bringing the knees up, feet flat on the floor. Stretch the fingertips towards the toes. Check the shoulders, hips, knees and ankles are aligned. Heels just underneath the knees. And then tray of marbles balanced across the pelvis. Keeping that little grape in the small of your back. So you're bracing the tummy but without crushing that grape in the small of your back. And then take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lift one knee up into tabletop. Knee over the sit bone and the shin parallel to the floor. And breathe in and put it down. Then exhale the other leg up and breathe in and put it down. So you're just lifting as you exhale and inhale to lower without bringing the knee into the chest. You lift it just over the sit bone. So you've still got that 90-degree angle at the hip when you've got it up there. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders. Make sure that the pelvis does not rock from side to side, otherwise your marbles are going to wobble about on the tray. Keeping that little grape in the small of your back. So nothing moving, just the alternate leg. Maybe exhale to lift and inhale to lower. And then when you've done equal numbers on both sides, hold that there. And then stay with that if you need to. Otherwise, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lift the right knee up into tabletop. Press the back into the mat, crush the grape. Lift the other leg up into tabletop. Now relax the back slightly, and you can get your little grape back in there. Keep that tray of marbles still. And then breathing in, tap one foot down, breathing out to lift. Breathing in to tap down, breathing out to lift. Nice and smooth, hinging from the hip. Try not to arch the back as you put the foot down, and when you lift the leg up, maybe make sure that you're not tilting the pelvis and crushing your grape. You can put the heel down or the toes down, whichever works better. And if it's too much altogether and your back is arching or pelvis tilting or rocking, then of course you can go back to the first option, starting with the feet on the floor, and just lift and lower. Hinging from the hip, making sure you don't bend the knee. Keeping that 90-degree angle at the knee, so it's not a knee bend, because that is cheating. And then when you have done, equal numbers on both sides, hug the knees into the chest, and have a little rock side to side. Remember, if it's not comfortable on your back, for your neck, if you find that you're losing your peach and your chin is sticking up, you can always just get a little cushion and pop it underneath your head to get the length through the back of the neck and bring the chin down towards the chest. And putting one foot down, the other foot down. Checking the position again, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles in line. Orange width between the knees. Floating the arms up towards the ceiling, keeping the shoulders down. Breathing in to nod the head, breathing out to curl up, crush the grape, look underneath the orange. Hold to breathe in and push forward, trying to get your shoulder blades off the floor. And then breathing out to gently roll back down again. That's breathing in to nod. Breathing out, pick up the peach, curl forward, crush the grape, reach forward. Everything below the waist stays still, press the tummy button to the backbone, and then gently roll it back down. Remember, you can always support the head with one hand while you curl forward, but make sure you don't pull on the head. Keep the elbow back, and also make sure the shoulders do not twist. You bring the shoulders up level. If it's not comfortable at all, you can leave the arms on the floor, head and shoulders on the floor, and pelvic tilt. Scoop out the tummy and just tilt the pelvis. Hollow the tummy and crush the grape from the other end, rather than bringing the ribs to the hips. You can bring the hips to the ribs. However, obviously the harder version would be nod, curl up, reach, nothing moving below the waist, pushing forward, and then gently down. Maybe one more time. So reaching all the way forward, keep the feet rooted into the floor, and gently down. And then let the head roll from side to side and ease out any tension in the neck. And coming back into alignment, stretch the legs out, take the arms over the top of your head, stretch through the tummy, stretch through those hip flexors, and lengthen through. Lift the rib cage away from the hips, stretch. And we've had a good stretch there, bringing the arms back down by your side, slide the feet back in again, check the position, and then if you can, lift one knee up into tabletop, press your back into the mat, lift the other leg up into tabletop, float the arms up towards the ceiling. If it's not comfortable with the legs in the air, just leave your feet on the floor. Breathing in, nod your head, breathing out, curl forward, and tap one foot down. Remember not to bend the knee, and then gently roll it back. Keep that chin down over the beach. Breathing in, nod your head, breathing out, curl forward, other leg goes down. Remember, you're not bending the knee, hinge it from the hip. Now if it's too much, leave the feet on the floor. Breathing in, nod your head, breathing out, curl up and extend the leg away from you. And then gently roll it back. And then go to the other side. Remember, you can always support the head with one hand while you reach with the other arm. If it's too much altogether, you can leave the head and shoulders on the floor and just do the legs only. But in that case, of course, you put your great back underneath. So nice and smooth. Crushing the grape as you come up. Trying a little strain on the neck as possible. Remember, you can always push your tongue up into the roof of your mouth to relax the front of your throat. Press that tummy button right down each time. And if you want to work even harder, what you can do is breathe in, nod your head, breathing out, curl up, and tap the feet down. Crush the grape, roll it back. So it's a nod, exactly the same, but both legs together. But if that's too much, you can go back to any of the earlier options. You can decide. Keep those legs at that 90-degree angle. Make those tummy muscles work. Press the tummy button right down into the backbone. Take the rib cage to the hips, and then when you've done enough, you can always do some more. When you think you've done enough, just hug those knees in and let the head roll from side to side and ease out the neck. And putting one foot down, the other foot down. Stretch the legs out, take the arms over your head and stretch through from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. Lengthen and stretch. Lengthen the hips, lengthen the tummy. Still breathing, of course, full and wide into the rib cage. And we've had a good stretch there. Just gently, please, bring the arms back down by your side and roll over onto your front. Let the forehead rest on the floor if that's comfortable. Take the arms down by your side. Lengthen through the legs. If it's not comfortable, of course, you can turn your head to the side, let your cheek rest. But keep your peach underneath your chin. Shoulders, hips, knees and ankles aligned. And keep a cup of tea on the back of your pelvis. Keep that tummy button pulled up all the time to support your back. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, just hover the head, the shoulders, the arms off the floor. And breathe in to go down. Keep the neck in line with the spine. Plank of wood on the back of your head, your peach underneath your chin. Or of course you can always turn the head and lift up, look down, and turn the head, let the cheek rest again. But try to keep everything below the waist still. Remember, you've got your cup of tea on the back of your pelvis. Lengthening through the arms. Make that back work. And then see if you can lift up, reach back, and then just clap the hands, reach back again, and gently go down. So you do exhale up, inhale, reach, exhale, clap, and inhale, release and down. But nothing moving below the waist. If you find that's uncomfortable, of course, for your shoulders or anything else, just don't bother with the clap. But of course, if you do the clap, you're going to be waking that posture muscle a little bit across the upper back, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Just exhale to lift, inhale, reach, exhale, clap, and inhale to take it down. And then from there, just bring the hands underneath the forehead if that's comfortable for you. Keep lengthening through the legs. Make sure the shoulders, hips, knees and ankles are aligned. So got your cup of tea on the back of your pelvis, tummy button pulled up and in. And then just lift and lower alternate legs. Exhale to lift and inhale to lower. Think about lengthening through the legs. It's not about lifting high. Activating the buttock. And of course, keeping that cup of tea still on the back of your pelvis. You're not allowing your pelvis to rock from side to side. Maybe you could do a single leg, then a single leg, and then both together to add in that lower back. But keep your hips on the floor. Just exhale to lift, inhale to lower. If that's okay, you could just stick with the doubles. Think about lengthening through the legs and they will automatically lift.
Try and keep the neck relaxed, the shoulders relaxed, but of course engaging the tummy all the time. So you can do single, single, you can do single, single, double, or you could just stay with the doubles. Then when you've completed equal numbers on both sides, or if you're doing single, single, double, complete the set. If you're doing the doubles, just one more, relax back down. Then bringing the arms back down by your side again, keep lengthening through those legs. Now see if you can join the two together. Lifting up, reaching back, and then gently down. Or you could do lift up, reach back, clap the feet together, clap the hands together, and take it down. So just be exhale up, inhale reach, exhale clap, inhale release, and down. But remember, if that's too much, of course, you can do the upper body on its own, with or without the clap. Or you could do single, single, double, or the singles, alternate singles, or just the doubles. You could alternate between upper and lower. But of course, the most challenging would be both together. Lift, reach, clap, release, down. Making the back, posture muscle across the upper back, even a little bit of inner and outer thighs, and of course the buttocks. And then when you've done enough, make sure you do equal numbers on both sides. If you're doing alternate legs, and then come up onto the hands and knees, and arch the back, drop the head, pull the tummy button up and in, and stretch from the back of your neck to your tail. Open up those vertebrae, and of course you could come up onto your knuckles if that's more comfortable. A good arch. If it's not comfortable, of course, you can sit on your bottom, put beach ball on your lap, reach over the beach ball for your toes, tuck the pelvis under the beach ball, and create your arch that way. And then if you're on your hands and knees, just cross the hands, please, at the wrists and push up again. Opening up between the shoulder blades, stretching across the upper back as well as from the back of the neck to the tail. And then changing the crossover. You can always have the hands a little bit closer into the knees if that gives you a better arch. And if you're sitting on your bottom, you're holding onto that beach ball. Now hug the ball into the chest and drop the head over the ball, and that will open up between the shoulder blades. And then just to sit back onto the heels if you can. Maybe open the knees a little bit, and then sit back onto the heels all the way back, letting the head rest. You can always stretch the arms in front of you if that's more comfortable. Or if you're not getting your head down, try not to lift the hips. Make a fist and put your head on the fist. If there's still a gap, you could always put the other fist on top of it, but keep those hips back and down. Otherwise you lose the stretch in the lower back and the buttocks. Then we've had a good stretch there. If you're in this position, you would just scoot out onto your front and roll over onto your back. And then if you are sitting, then in this position, then you can just swing the legs round, scoot out onto your front, and then roll gently over onto your back. And then take a moment to set that one up. Stretching fingertips towards the toes, keep the chin down over the beach. Put the little grape in the small of your back, orange width between the knees. And of course, breathing full and wide into the ribs, quite keep your zip up and hollow. And then breathing in to tilt the pelvis, breathing out to release. Breathing in to tilt, scooping out the tummy, crush the grape, and breathing out to release. Keep the feet rooted into the floor, just isolate that pelvis. Try not to tilt the chin back while you tilt the pelvis. Making sure you've got your heels directly underneath your knees. Don't have them too far in, the heels into the buttocks, or too far out, pretty much directly underneath the knees. And then orange between the knees still. Breathing in to tilt the pelvis, breathing out now, pick the hips up. Push up and balance on the shoulder blades, the shoulder soles of the feet. Hold to breathe in, breathing out, start from the top. And then link by link, bone by bone, imprint your back into the mat. Tilt the pelvis back into neutral, bring it back into start position with a little grape, and then you crush your grape again as you breathe in. Breathing out to peel off. Hold up at the top, hold on to that orange, then the inner thighs work a little bit, making sure the knees don't open. Hold to breathe in and breathing out. Link by link, you come back down again, just like a bicycle chain. So it's breathing in to tilt, make sure you keep your chin down, breathing out, pick up and balance. Push the knees forward, get some stretch through the hips. Hold at the top and then gently, gently down. Try and get each individual vertebrae to touch the floor and then tilting back into neutral. Then adding on to that, breathing in to tilt, breathing out to pick up the hips, sweep the arms around to the side, over the head, and then breathing in to hold, and then just gently bring it back down again with the arms down by your side. So it's just breathing in to tilt, breathing out, sweep the arms round crucifix, then over the head, breathing in to hold, breathing out to gently bring the spine down, arms down by your side. And see if you can add a little something else onto that. See if you can breathe in to tilt, breathing out to pick up, sweep round, breathing in, nod your head, float the arms up towards the ceiling, breathing out, pick the head and the shoulders up and reach forward. Look underneath the orange, shoulders down. Pressing tummy button right down into the backbone as you breathe in to reach forward, and then gently arms, shoulder blades, shoulders and head go down. Breathing in, tilt, breathing out, sweep round, pick up into that nice straight line from the knee to the shoulder. Hold there to breathe in, nod the head, float the arms up, breathing out, peel off, keeping everything in alignment, reaching forward, look underneath that orange, and then gently arms, shoulder blades, shoulders and head go down. Remember, you can always support the head with one hand if you need to. So it's nod, pick up, support the head if you need to, and reach. Try not to twist, try not to pull on the head. And then gently, gently take it back down. Remember, you might need to keep adjusting your position. And then breathing in to tilt, breathing out to sweep round. And then nod, float the arms up, support the head if you need to. Link by link, bone by bone, reach it forward, hold. And then see if you can add a side bend. Keep the hips down, reach for your ankle. Bring it back, keep the neck in line, chin down over the peach, nothing moving below the waist. So exhale to the other side, inhale back, and then gently take it back down. Remember, you can always support the head. Breathing in to tilt. Breathing out, sweep round, really slow with control. And then breathing in, nod the head, breathing out, peel off. Remember, you can always support the head. While you reach, say to the right side, support with the left. Bring it back. Reach to the other side. Keep everything below the waist still. And then link by link, you go back down. So you can always support the head. Now, I've caterpillared down the mat a little bit, which is what happens when you do bridges. So you might need to caterpillar yourself back down again. And then again, breathing in to tilt, breathing out to pick those hips up, reaching back, nod, float the arms up, and pick the head and shoulders up while you reach. Support the head or not, and then reach, but keep the hips down. Try not to let the hips twist. Keep that orange between the knees. And then gently down. Remember, if it's too much to lift the head and the shoulders, of course you don't need to add that bit on. You can stay with the bridge. But if you can, you add on. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out to pick up, sweep around, reaching back. And then breathing in, nod your head, breathing out, curl up, supporting the head if you need to, reach it forward. Add a side bend, so a bit of waist whittling, rib to hip. And then bring it back to center, hold it up there, keep looking forward, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lift one leg up and put it down, the other leg up, put it down, and then you roll back down again, link by link. And again, remember, you don't have to do all the add-ons. So tilting Sweeping round, just getting lots of flexibility into your spine, into your shoulders, reaching forward, and you add the waist whittling bit, supporting the head if you want to. And then hold it up, keep the chest forward, and then lift one leg. Baby, you could lift the other leg, and then put the first one down, the second one down, and then roll all the way down. But of course you could stay with the alternate legs. See if you can keep going with that. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out, sweeping round, push up into that nice ski slope shape. Nod the head, floating the arms forward, crush that grip. And then bending to the side, bending to the side, and then you can do single legs. Or you could start with the other leg this time and lift, keep that tummy button pressed into the backbone so the grip stays crushed. Lift, and then lower, lower, and down. But of course, if that's too much, you don't need to add that on. And of course, you could do alternate single legs if you prefer. And going again, breathing into tilt, sweeping round. With those buttocks and hamstrings, core muscles work. And then curling forward, then you're going to add your waist into that. Big reach, rib to hip, supporting the head if you need to. And then see if you can lift one leg and put it down, and the other leg and put it down. Otherwise, one leg, then the other leg. And then it goes down and down. And then you roll down. And then we need to do the other leg. So breathing in to tilt, breathing out to sweep round. Nod and bring it up and forward. Reach and push. Try and get those shoulder blades off the floor. Keep the feet rooted into the floor. And then see if you can lift one leg, put it down, then the other leg and put it down. Or you do one leg, then the other leg, and hold. And then see if you can hold it there, hold on behind one thigh, and then tap the other foot to the floor. And swap, and swap, and swap. If that's too much, of course, just go back to the bridge and continue with the curl up and the reach forward and the waist whittling bit. You can always stay with that. If you want to work this one harder, you can straighten the legs and bring the nose to the knee to the nose. If that's too much, you don't need to do that. You can stay with the bent leg. And then we've had enough of that. Again, of course, you can support the head. Should have said that. Then just come back to start position, replace the foot to the floor, slide the other foot in, and gently roll down. Then you need to let the head roll from side to side to ease out the tension in that neck. Easing out the neck. And now just for some lovely stretching. Stretch one leg out, then the other leg out. Take the arms over the top of your head and stretch those dummy muscles that you've just worked. Lengthen through, stretch, stretch, stretch. With the rib cage out of the pelvis and lengthen through the legs. Give it a really good stretch. Then cross the right ankle over the left ankle. Take hold of your right wrist with your left hand and bend to your left side. Give a little tug on the wrist and lengthen through the leg. Keeping the shoulders and the hips down. Remember, you can always take the arms down by your side. Just reach down the seam of the trouser leg. That will still get you stretched down the opposite side. And when you've got a good stretch there, swapping to the other side if you can. You take hold of your left wrist and bend to your right side, crossing the left ankle over the right ankle. Just lift and stretch and lengthen. Give it a good stretch down the side. And then gently bring it back into alignment, uncross the ankles, and then gently please roll over onto your foot. Taking the forehead down onto the back of one hand, Reach behind with the other hand for the foot on the same side. Bring the heel to the bottom, the knees together, pressing the hip into the floor. Remember, if you can't get over the foot, you could try the sock or the trouser leg, or if not, just cross the opposite ankle over and ease the leg in. Always do it that way. And if you want extra intensity, lift the head and the shoulders, but keep your eyes focused on the back of the hand, and there's no strain on the neck. Press that hip down. And when you're ready, change to the other side. Always have heel to bottom, knees together, pressing the hip down, and lifting the head and the shoulders, but only if you feel you need that extra intensity. Get a good stretch in the front of the hip and the thigh. Then replacing the foot, coming up onto the hands and knees. Arch the back, drop the head, pull the tummy button up and in. Push the hips towards the head, drop the head right down. Get a good stretch in the back of your neck to your tail. Remember, you can always come up onto your knuckles, or you could always sit on your bottom, swing your legs around in front of you. Put a big beach ball on your lap. Reach over the beach ball for your toes, tuck the pelvis under, and create your arch in a sitting position instead. And when you've done that, just sit back onto the heels. Let the forehead rest down. You might want to open those knees a little bit. Get those hips right back. Reaching the arms back, or you could stretch the arms forward. Or of course you could come into a sitting position and hug the knees into the chest, drop the head over the knees. And just get a good stretch in the lower back and buttocks. And then from there, coming up into sitting, either with the legs straight or bent or crossed. It's sitting up nice and tall. Remember, if that is not comfortable, just get a cushion and pop cushion underneath your bottom, and that will help if you've got quite tight hamstrings. Trying to keep the back up nice and straight. Lift the right arm up, drop the hand behind your head and ease the arm back. Stretch into the back of the arm. Elbow pointing up. Keep that zip up and hollow so the tummy muscles are still working. Back up against that imaginary wall. And then changing arms, take it straight up, drop it down. Try and keep the arm close into the head. Elbow pointing up. Keep the beach underneath the chin. So you're not dropping the head down. Just easing the arm back, getting stretching those tricep muscles in the back of the arm. And then just relax that there. Then from here, right hand, palm down, underneath the buttock and sit on it. And drop the left ear down into the shoulder. Get a stretch in the neck. Keep lengthening up, tummy button still pulled up and in. And then release. Slide those shoulder blades down your back and drop the chin all the way down into the chest. Shoulders right down, back up still nice and straight. Use the weight of the head to stretch the back of the neck. And then lengthening up. Left hand, palm down underneath the buttock, sit on that one. And drop the right ear down into the shoulder. Hold that there. Using the weight of the head. And then release, lengthening up again. Keep the chin down over the peach. Turn the head, look as far as you can over that right shoulder. Try not to tilt the top of the head back. And then gently turn the head, keeping that chin down over the beach. And look over your left shoulder. Keep the shoulders back and down, back up straight. And the chin down over the beach. Encouraging flexibility into the neck. Then gently drop the chin all the way down into the chest. Lifting the head. And release the shoulders forward, up and round and back and down. Get those shoulders moving. Big, big, big shoulder roll. And there we are at the end of session number 12. I do hope you will still be there for session number 13. Hopefully, we should be getting together in the not too distant future in person. Fingers crossed. But bye for now.